everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Tara Travels. I'm currently not traveling, but I am working on this project regarding my Polish heritage and just sort of diving into my Polish American identity, my family history, and of course the Polish language. So on July 11th, I traveled to Yonkers, New York, where my family kind of got their start, or at least my Polish side of the family, got their start in America. I went to visit my grandpa's side of the family. They are mostly Polish. My grandmother's side has a mix of Ukrainian as well, and Slovakian. So my grandpa's side is much more Polish, and I thought being able to talk to them, I'd get to know more about their parents. So I went to visit my grandpa's older sister. If you are new to this series, you could start from the beginning, or I'll just quick rundown. Really the only Polish relatives I have at the moment, really are, my grandma is second generation Polish American and grew up speaking Polish. So did my grandfather, except he stopped in elementary school as he learned English and learned it again as an adult. But unfortunately he passed away when I was in middle school. So I can't really talk to him about this stuff, but I thought maybe talking to his sister might give me some insights. So I interviewed her a little bit, and the footage wasn't that great, so I'm going for when I was just interviewing her. So I'll include some interviews of her and her kids, but for now I'll just kind of sum up their family history. So my Aunt Mary is the woman I interviewed. She's getting older, so her memory isn't that great, but the basics of what she told me were her mother's name was Julia Piszczek. Her father was Walter Mishura, and they were very much working class Polish immigrants. She said that her mother was very loving and her father worked very hard, and so she didn't remember a lot of him in her childhood. They had several older siblings. My grandpa and her had several older siblings, but only two brothers made it to adulthood, and they have both passed away by now. They, like I said, grew up speaking Polish, and now my Aunt Mary does not remember any of it. She did not marry a Polish man, so her family is a lot less involved with the Polish heritage, I guess. Like, they don't have quite the same interest in it as my grandmother does. So that was an interesting connection to make. So Julia and Walter met after Walter had moved to Pennsylvania, and then he moved to Yonkers. They met in Yonkers with Julia's sister introducing them. They got married. They had I want to say they had 6 or 7 kids total, but like I said, only 4 became adults. So they lived in Yonkers, and I got to see where the actual house where they lived, which was really cool. I got to talk to them a bit about what Yonkers was like, because obviously I did not grow up in New York. I am not a city girl. And it was interesting to see sort of these echoes or ghosts of what was like an extremely Polish place. There are still a few Polish restaurants, and St. Casimir's is the school that my grandma, my grandpa, and I believe my uncles went to. I don't think my father was old enough to go there when he still lived in Yonkers. I have a couple of different questions, but generally I'm just looking for some fun family stories so I can know a bit more about our family's history in Yonkers, and kind of starting with the Missouri grandparents, Julia and Walter? Walter.
Well, let me ask Aunt Mary this. My father told me when he was growing up that when you sat down at the dinner table, nobody was allowed to speak while they were eating. Is that true?
Yeah, probably is.
But was it true for you?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You were the princess.
Oh, maybe they just didn't want my dad speaking.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah.
He said that. Oh, I thought it was Grandpa that said it.
No,
He said it, he told us that everybody had to keep quiet, you're here, you're supposed to just eat, not talk.
That sounds reasonable, but I don't remember that.
I don't remember anything strict like that.
No, but we were there when they were much older by the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They
but then you
softened
know,
up.
Oh, and
Yeah,
no, he's talking
With
about the
grandchildren get
family.
spoiled.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Grandchildren get to do a lot of things that kids don't get to do.
Well, one of
Including
the stories
speak.
my mom told
Oh.
me is she eats liver because they used to make her eat all the fat trimmings because she didn't throw it out. And Grandpa didn't eat corn because he slopped pigs, and he didn't eat pig food.
We heard that story, yeah. You
Yeah.
didn't eat
Oh,
corn
okay.
because they fed it to the pigs.
That's true.
I remember one vague memory I have is he had a garden, I think. And I remember him picking a squash and showing me a squash. I think they had, did he keep a garden in that yard?
Yeah, along the fence.
Along the side, right?
Yeah, so there was the fence for the, so you didn't fall into the yard next door. But I think a walkway and then maybe even hedges there too. And the squash would grow up into the hedges. And she used to make pies out of it, like a pumpkin pie, but they weren't pumpkins.
So this is Webster Avenue. This Robin Eggs Blue is 160. And they didn't put a garage in. The fence is all the same.
Is this it? This is where...
This is 160.
This is where they lived?
Yep.
Wow.
There's a picture of my mom shoveling snow right in this spot here. That's 160. The porch floor is the same.
So how long did they live here for? Was this like their last?
That
did they
was
move
their
into
last
others?
house. Grandpa died there, the way I understand it, from my mother in my mother's arms.
Oh my
But that was
goodness.
after like the fourth stroke. So.
Yeah, he was bedridden for a number of years,
Yeah,
I remember.
and-
And they still lived in there.
And she didn't know CPR and stuff back then.
Yeah.
And the basement was like a...
A rock hewn.
Yeah, it was like you were in a cave when you went down the basement.
The garbage shed is gone.
Oh, that
And the lead
garage
paint
is
is...
still there. That,
Yeah, that's not from the backside. With that gray paint on the door frame looks like your grandfather put it on there.
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it still looks like probably the original chain link fence.
And then... Oh, that fence was the same. They didn't change it.
Seen on the side, I remember it just in the backyard.
Well, that was in the backyard on the
Went
side.
right along the walkway to the garbage shed.
Not along the side of the house.
There was
it's
a
just-
rectangular right outside the back of the house,
Yeah.
is what I remember.
And it probably was several places at different
Yeah.
times. I'm thinking, they
We
were there
moved
all
around
the
with the
time.
sun.
So as grandparents, what were Julia and Walter like? Like, what were their personalities like? I know you guys had said stuff about Walter, the story that Georgie had about Walter giving you guys whiskey to get you to go to
It
sleep.
was Donald told me the story.
What was like, what sort of stuff did you guys do with your grandparents to like
We used
when
to
they
play casino all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
And what about Julia? Did she like, what was she like as a grandmother?
Well, she always worked. I mean, even,
Mother or
yes,
my-
your mother.
Oh, your mother.
Your mother. Your
That's-
father, I don't remember him, well, he must have worked at some point, but I remember her working a lot, and we would occasionally go and pick her up from where she was
That's
working.
right.
She worked as a
That's
housekeeper. And,
I'm talking about your daughter, Julia.
oh no, we're talking about your mother, Julia.
My mother.
But, you know, so we would pick her up and she would take clothes from the people that she
That's true.
took
you
care
did
of,
name-
and then we wore them. Well,
Hand-me-downs.
But
yeah.
you named Julia after her, so
Yeah,
that's, you want to tell us about that?
well, that's all that is.
Oh, just
Well,
She
well,
must
the
have
funny
been pretty
part.
special.
Well, no, well.
No? Just a nice
Well, it'd
name?
be terrible
It's
to
a
call
nice name.
Julia Walter after her.
You don't have to name people after people either.
No, you don't. No, well, the funny thing is that I named her after Julia, my grandmother, but my grandmother's name on her paperwork was all Juliana then, you know, which was funny, you know.
Yeah, Stephen's got Grandpa's middle name, Walter.
Mm-hmm,
I middle named everybody their grandfathers.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was a very good-looking, attractive
Woman, oh,
woman
oh,
for
yeah.
her age.
Who was?
My
Their other grandmother, Uncle George's mother. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that she died before you were born.
Oh, 68, 69, right?
Yeah, I never met
66, I
them.
wanna say.
And I think I only met Uncle George's brother once or twice.
Well, because they were estranged.
Yeah, and I
for
think
all
I-
those wasted years.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he
so
had
that
a
was at
stroke
our
maybe,
wedding
too,
then.
yeah.
That Stephen would have met him at our wedding downstairs while John Sohegan was, no, my friend Matt Kunka was doing magic stuff. We have the albums at home in Tarrytown.
Was it in the Polish Center, your wedding?
No,
No,
very
Sandrock.
Italian.
Sandrock.
Okay, because I remember going to a lot of things at the Polish Center.
I remember we were here one time for an outdoor picnic, and what's her name? The one who married George's brother.
Irene.
Irene.
Casa.
Irene?
Irene Cossack. She made gołąbki. So we had gołąbki. But
Was the one with the grape jelly?
yes,
Barbecued one.
and that's why I said, so funny, this doesn't taste like gołąbki. She had grape jelly all over it.
My cousin.
It was like a barbecue sauce. And
Oh,
bacon.
funny.
not like a
No,
sweet
no,
grape
it's
jelly,
jelly.
like a
That way.
savory one. Okay. I was like, oh, that sounds more cabbage and grape.
No, it wasn't peanut
Monkey
butter
stuff,
jelly.
yeah. Okay.
But
It
instead
wasn't
of,
jelly on it? It
instead of
was.
the tomato, right? The
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't know it was jelly until she told you. It was sweeter.
It was
And
sweet,
you know, and I
yeah.
think there was something else. in
Like a
it.
barbecue
I mean, we
sauce.
have a recipe.
I had the recipe. I asked for it. Haven't made it, but I have it.
Okay, I think it's in the gray box there.
Yeah.
But,
The jelly one?
yeah.
The jelly one, yeah.
Everybody says the jelly one. That's so
The jelly one.
Well, it seemed to be the thing that we would make for a while because it was something different.
Bottom line is, language learning is for you. Celebrating your heritage is for you, and I'm hoping to get to a point where I can celebrate my Polish heritage and forge my own connection with it that doesn't have to do with anyone else but me knowing that this is a part of who I am. That I am half Slavic, I'm Polish, Ukrainian, and Slovakian, but mostly Polish, and that country, though like most country has its own stuff, that country has a place in my heart. And maybe it'll grow to be as much of a place in my heart as Ireland has, but who knows. So thank you for watching. Dziękuję bardzo i do widzenia.